Saturday afternoon, the rub from 12 to 2. Hard to believe that the game doesn't start for 7.5 hours. It's nuts. Also hard to believe it's the 24th of October. It's a weird-ass season, Fat. I can see a Red Bull in front of you, so I know you've had nothing to bloody do for the last 24 hours and got yourself in all sorts of trouble. Got my eyes up to Brisbane. I can see Purple up there. I can see Bristol up there, ready to do some amazing grand final day work. A man who, of course, played in 3, won 2 of them as the captain of the Kangaroos. Duck, he's here as well. And we've got a big cast. Have a listen to this. Bernard Vince and Joey Montagna sliding in. Benny Gale, of course, former star himself for the Tigers, and then the CEO there, and this amazing run they're having. Chris Judd is going to join us, Premiership captain. Sean Grigg is going to join us, Premiership ruckman.
Exactly.
And the quiz, I don't think we're going to have time for as we get ready for a nice Saturday afternoon. Well, all about the Cats today with you. Fat, how's that all going?
Well, I'm nervous, Jim. And guess what? I can't do anything about
Nothing.
it. Nothing. I couldn't sleep last night. You wake up, you think, what happens if they do win? What do you do?
Yes.
Where do you have a frothy? And what happens if they lose? All these thoughts go through your mind. But
you didn't do anything about it in the 4 games you played in on this day.
shut up, Damien. You flog. No one asked you.
Everyone knows where you're going, Billy, win, lose or draw. What a ridiculous statement you're making.
At least they're there, and they're a big chance.
Yes.
I got to know, Brian, while we got Brian on, the weather. Because the weather is very important today, Brian. Just give us an update, please.
Well, as I look out the window here at the wonderful studios of Triple M here at the north end of town, it looks very cloudy, but it's broken cloud. So it is going to rain at some stage.
It's a worry, BT. They are genuinely worried about what might happen at 7:30 Melbourne time, Bill, when it does hit. It's going to rain. That's a guarantee. It's whether it just gets up this far into Brisbane. The Gold Coast is meant to be sodden by that stage. Whether it gets to Brisbane itself, the unknown.
But let me give you my weather forecast. Damo butting in there, but I was going with my weather forecast. It may rain in one suburb, but it won't rain in the one next door. So it's a fluky sort of weather pattern coming today.
Right,
thanks, Brian.
Damo,
Yes.
Gill in the AFL will breathe a sigh of relief today at 7:30. But this year being what it is, they could have an electrical storm or something will happen and the game will be called off for 20 minutes.
Bill, you don't want to over-dramatise what could happen.
Wait.
I'm telling you, I have sat in on briefings that pertain to what Bill's just asked.
Damo, it's gone through this year with everything that's gone on in the world, and now you're going to fearmonger over a bloody electric...
It could happen,
Are you kidding me?
And you were putting cream on the weather report then. That was absolutely over-the-top scaremongering weather report.
There are musicians with $250,000 worth of instrument in their the stuff about... They will be not subjecting those instruments to the rain.
I wasn't talking about the instruments. I was more so, but just an electrical storm.
In all honesty, Bill, they have discussed, as good organisations do discuss, contingency plans around an electrical storm.
Damo's biggest concern is the 12-string electric guitar that some floozy Australia is no good anyway. Is going to use in his act for 1.5 songs.
A violin or a fiddle,
Brian. Here's the thing. Cancel that song and don't use it.
I'll tell you what, it's a big day for our man Brian.
All I know, before we get to that, Willis, is were it to rain, that would be the second week in a row which has just fallen beautifully for the Tigers. The one thing they didn't want last week was to cop Port Adelaide on a beautiful dry night with speed outside. It rained, fell nicely for them. Same tonight. If it rains, Fat, they come right in for me, the Tigers.
Well, they do, because they just move it forward, they hit it forward, they bash it forward, and it will suit them. But having said that, I've seen the Geelong boys play very nicely in the rain, inclling Tom Hawkins. He loves it when the participation comes down.
Participation.
Which ex-football... Hey, BT, which ex-footballer is the biggest nuffy out of Billy and Richo?
Oh, come on.
Oh, jeez, I saw Richo crying on the screens at 7 this morning. And Billy making out, like, Billy, stop. You've gone all nuffy on us, mate. What is wrong with you?
Now, Brian, I know it's a big day for you, Brian, okay, because the ratings are going to be huge, right? It's going to be huge. Everyone's going to be watch the game tonight, and it's a big day for you, Brian.
But
Leroy, hit this. Just tell me what this is. Any idea what that might be, Brian?
Well, that's a TikTok.
Righto, so it's a huge audience. The Channel 7 bigwigs, they'll be listening in because there's bigger things, holy moly and all that for Brian, of course. But, Leroy, just play this again. You know what that is, Brian?
Bill, this better have a good punchline, Bill.
That's Tanya with the stopwatch.
Oh, no.
She's going to time how long Bruce calls for and how long you call for, Brian.
I like it, Bill.
I tell you what, Bill, just hearing that now, Tanya will be coming for you. She doesn't go to the footy. She doesn't watch the footy. She doesn't care about what I do.
She enjoyed it last Saturday night, BT. I saw it. I had a drink with Tanya last Saturday night.
A long-held myth that's storied by Damo as well is a disgrace, and she will be coming after you.
She's got the stopwatch tonight, and she'll text you. Bruce has gone 3 minutes 10. You'll go, Brian. Get in. There it is there. Also, while we're on the you two up there.
Oh, he's corrected.
Oh, geez, Bill's got a come off the long run.
Oh, yeah. Loaded up.
I'm hearing, Jim. I'm hearing. There's a luncheon today, and guess who's hosting out of those two?
No.
Our man Purple.
Are you saying they were both in the frame?
Well, I'll come to that,
Right.
Jim. But Purple, are you hosting a lunch today?
I know it's a lunch. I've got to leave the studios here when we complete our tasks here, Bill, and head to a particular function to say hello to a few people. Yes,
250 people there, which is a huge crowd.
That's a big crowd.
Big crowd. And Damo, it's for a ticketing mob, okay?
Right.
So a big show.
Some ticketing mob.
And they really wanted Purple, okay? Very popular up there.
Yes.
But
So while Damo's doing one, Bill,
hang on.
I'll be off knocking out 3.
Funny you say that, because I hear that someone from the Triple M stable, who's up in Queensland with Damo, wanted to do the gig, so much so that he said, I'll do it for a slightly lesser rate.
No.
I will do it for a
Tried
lesser
to cut
rate.
his feet out.
I'll do it for a cheaper rate. And tried to cut Damo's lunch. And guess what? He said, I am the MC king. I do lunches. There's only one bloke that can do them. I do them. And was politely told.
If you're going to continue to lie,
did that happen? Because I was told on Thursday
I will tell the Victorian police out there that you're breaking the rules down in your pub, because that what I'm saying to you now is unfair on you and vice versa on me. That is absolute bullshit. No. And if you continue to say it, I'll have you kneecapped. I'll have you capped, Bill, because that is absolute nonsense.
Damo?
Jim, what's that you say about people who protested?
Yes,
I'm sorry,
too much.
If Damo wants
I reckon that story's true, Bill.
Yes, there you
500,
go.
that's great.
Is it also true, BT, that you specifically asked to interview the so-called superstar supporters of Richmond? You wanted one-on-ones and did not want anyone else involved in the interviews.
No, they wanted me.
The old lunch.
So go on. Anything else you've got?
I have.
Throw it. Nothing's stuck so far because the people out there.
Oh, he's dirtied up. I can feel it in the
So I
studio.
tell you what, keep going, JB. If you've got one to throw it out.
He's filthy right up, Bristol.
I will be wandering off in the next minute or so if this nonsense continues.
No, you won't, because you like to get the full payment. You're on for 10 minutes last time and you didn't get the full payment. Wow, did we hear about that? Did the admin
What
hear
else
it?
do you think you got?
Well, I've got something on you.
No, you haven't.
I got something on
No,
you.
you haven't.
You
got nothing. I'm clean. I'm clean-skinned.
Flog. Right, this is true. What about yesterday? They had a huge lunch here in Melbourne. You can't have the lunches, but I assume it was a Zoom lunch.
Extraordinary.
By TLA, they put it together, so it's huge.
Over 500 viewing audience for local clubs around Victoria.
And really a big one. And you're not even managed by TLA.
No, that's how required I was.
Bullshit.
I came from outside their stable to run the panel properly.
Now, boys, it was sold as the Big Forwards Luncheon, okay?
Oh, yes.
So you had Gazaline there.
Yes.
Good player. Very good player. John O'Brien, superstar.
Yes.
And you had Matthew Richardson. Superstars, goals, marks, courageous. And you had Jim on the end talking about kicking goals for Claremont and shit like that.
I tell you,
Jim.
I tell you where that came from, all right, Fat?
Yeah.
They were talking about premierships. I looked along the line. Richo?
None.
Gaz? Brownie was the only one, so I had to jump in and help him. Every year I played sport, I won a premiership.
Claremont reserves do not count.
I just jumped in and gave him a bit of a chop out.
The Big Forwards Luncheon with those three and Flog Brayshaw. I kicked a couple of goals for Claremont.
They had a meeting out of my hands, Fat. The feedback was extraordinary. That's what it was.
Better than playing and losing grand finals, I guess, Bill.
Oh, luncheon. Hey, just because you got knocked off by Purple as the best.
I don't know how you go through life, Bill, playing and losing grand finals. Really, not worth getting there if you're going to lose them, mate. If you're losing them. And then if you lose them and don't get it as well.
Leroy, hit the TikTok. There it is, Brian. There's Tanya. 3 minutes 10. Bruce.
Final siren of sound, and Geelong have lost another one. Goodness gracious me. And Billy Brownless. Oh, he's had a poor day today.
Hey, that'll be the only thing you'll say all day, because Bruce will do the whole lot today and do it beautifully.
Hey, Bill, I caught up with Tanya Taylor last week at the preliminary final.
Yes.
And I got a lot of stories about him.
Oh, good.
But I just don't feel quite comfortable right now raising them, but we'll be armed for future.
Hold on to them, because we'll do them over the break. But before we get to the break, we were talking about Richo, of course, Duck, and when they won the first flag in 30-odd years, lost his way on the boundary, let's be brutally honest. He couldn't speak and cried and everything, which sort of took us back to 07 down in the race when we heard this.
I can't talk either, I'm sorry, Murray, but, mate, this is the best thing that's ever happened to the Geelong Footy Club.
I went on to say...
You and Rich are the biggest nuffies.
I'm happy with that. I'm passionate about my club. At least I don't go off and fire off at them when they're down the bottom like your mob.
You're a nuffie.
You know what I went on to say? It's bigger than the gold rush. I don't know where I pulled that.
Where were you going, Pat? You clearly hadn't thought about what you're going to say at all.
Well, I was just thinking, I thought I actually played in that game, to be honest. Kicked a couple. Anyway, Brian, sucked in. You didn't get the luncheon, and you get no time today. Sucked in.
Oh, and yet another one is blown by the Cats.